Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on this tutorial about a new plugin under development for Hydronia's RiverFlow2D model software. The objective of this tutorial is to illustrate the capabilities of the RiverFlow2D's Hydroeconomic Evaluation of Floods plugin, or HEEF for short, in the QGIS interface, as well as its use through the implementation of a practical exercise. The tutorial will start from a RiverFlow2D project that has already been implemented. We will demonstrate how to obtain a map that shows the costs for damage to buildings in the lower part of the basin due to a river flood. RiverFlow2D users can load the HEEF tutorial from the location displayed above. On the screen, we have the basin and the location of the buildings, as well as a map of maximum depth and velocity magnitudes for a 100-year event simulation. We will now add the HEF Builds layer template. Go to the RiverFlow2D plugin menu and click on the New Layer Template button. In the plugin window, activate the HEF Builds checkbox and click on the OK button. We will now load the building polygons to the HEF Build layer. Select the Buildings layer in the Layers panel. Select all polygons of the buildings layer with the Select Features tool. The selected elements will be highlighted in yellow as shown. Click on the Copy button in the editing toolbar. Select the HEF Builds layer in the Layers panel. Click the button to set the HEF Builds layer in edit mode, and click on the Paste button in the edit toolbar. After pasting the elements, a message in the upper part of the QGIS map window will indicate that 131 elements were pasted. Click the Save button, then the Edit button to exit edit mode. Then click the Deselect Features from all layers to remove this selection and deactivate the Buildings layer. We will see the HEF Builds layer with the copied polygons. Select the HEF Builds layer in the Layers panel. Right-click and select the Open Attribute Table option in the pop-up menu. The Attributes table of the layer has empty fields for polygons, or null values, since only the geometry was copied and not the attributes. The next step will be to upload the information regarding the type of vulnerability function associated with the type of building with its cost, the cost of the content, and a description of the type of materials used in the construction. Select the HEF Builds layer in the Layers panel. And click on Select Features by Polygon from the Polygon Selection Tool drop-down menu. Left-click to draw a polygon around the building polygons from the Buildings layer. Right-click to close the polygon. Click on the RiverFlow2D toolbar, then go to Hydroeconomic Evaluation of Flood and select Setting Multiple Buildings. Click on the database icon. Then select the option Tabulated Depth, Speed versus Damage. And then for the vulnerability function, select 02001. Review the description of the type of structure associated with the vulnerability function selected. It should display the characteristics of the home and general materials used in its construction. You can see a visualization of the vulnerability function by clicking on the graph icon. Click on the Reference Photo button to see an image of the type of building or home to which the vulnerability function corresponds. I will speed up the next batch of buildings, repeating the assignment of different vulnerability function types for each group of buildings. you can see how the legend of the HEEF Builds layer indicates the 4 categories in which the layer was classified according to the type of vulnerability function. We will now activate the Google Satellite layer. We want to zoom into a building that we will incorporate into our HEF Builds layer. Select the HEF Builds layer in the Layers panel. Click the button to set it to edit mode, and click the Add Polygon button, and then draw the polygon that defines the outline of the building as shown. Right-click to close the polygon. On closing the polygon, we will proceed to assign the vulnerability function ID to the new polygon. We will use the ID 02001, and when finished, make sure to save and deactivate edit mode. Now that we've finished creating the polygon, we need to deactivate the Google Satellite layer. We need to also disable edit mode on the HEEF Builds layer. Now we will generate the HEEF costs map, making sure we have the maximum depth and velocities outputs enabled. We go to the Results versus Time drop-down menu on the RiverFlow2D plugin and select Hydroeconomic Evaluation of Flood Map. We select the corresponding map layers from the depth flow layer and the velocity flow layers. Click OK to generate the map. Once displayed, we can disable the other layers to show us the output of the HEEF damage layer. The map legend in reddish tones shows the cost categories of damage to the structures. We can then generate a statistics of the fields utilizing QGIS's tools. The tool can be found in the Vector menu under Analysis Tools, clicking on Basic Statistics for Fields. Select HEEF damage as the input layer, then select the lost costs layer as the field to calculate statistics on. Click Run and view the results of the calculation. We can see the results in the same window. The summary indicates the average value of the lost costs field, which contains the lost costs for each building, as well as the minimum and maximum range, among other statistics. The same operation can be done with any other field in the attribute layer of the HEEF damage layer. This concludes our short tutorial on the new Hydroeconomic Evaluation of Floods plugin for RiverFlow2D. Thanks for joining us.